Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. For those of you who have off today, congratulations. If you don't, sorry to hear about that. But today I'm doing some morning flying in the M20R from Advanced Flight Modeling, and we're going to be flying around the VR Aviation Eastern FBO network a little bit, doing a few runs here and there, just to take in some of the scenery and to exercise the Mooney a little bit today. So thanks for joining. Appreciate that. We're here at Delaware Air Park 33N, which is actually custom scenery that M9 created for us. One of our group members did a really nice job of creating that. Actually, let me see if I can give you a little bit of a pan around here. Go over here, check out the front of the FBO. You can see there's the VR Aviation logo right there. And in the hangar, we've got PC-12, B1900D, and a 208, all sporting our livery colors and logo in the back there. Really nice job by M9 on this FBO. It's a nice. This is our hub in the east. I guess we've got about 7 FBOs now networked into this. They put some nice planes here in the lot. It's cool. But anyway, this is what we're flying today. We're flying the Mooney from Advanced Flight Modeling. Thanks to those guys for sponsoring me with this wonderful evaluation version of this plane. It still is in early access. We're seeing probably a rhythm of about every 2 weeks, an update every 2 weeks. It's getting better and better. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to fly. A lot of people have said some great things about the flight modeling. I personally can't vouch for that because I'm not a real world pilot, but I love flying it. It's a lot of fun, and I love the our colors. And those guys actually, Cooper from VR Aviation actually did this for us, which is really cool. So I love the livery colors that they did for us. Anyway, we're going to get in this plane today and fly it around a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Good morning, M9. How you doing? Let me go over the plan of what we're planning on doing here. As far as my flight plan, where are we going? Let's get back to the Chrome. Boom. Come on. Oh, there you go. All right. Pardon me. Sky Vector. We're going from 33N. We're gonna head up to N47, which is Pottstown. Okay. Drop a couple people off there, pick up a person there. Then we're gonna head to Sky Manor up in northwestern New Jersey, and then we're gonna head back to Pottstown, and then back to 33N. If we take a look at our FSEconomy work here, we've got 3 passengers now. We can only fit 3 passengers in this plane. 2 passengers going up. We're going to drop 2 off, then head up to 40. Pick one up at 40, back to 47. Pick up, actually at 47. So we're going to head to 47, drop off a couple of there. You'll see how it works. And then once we get back to 47, we've got a few more people here that we're going to take back to 33. So it'll all work out. Trust me. Right? If you look at the upper left-hand corner there, I've got ForeFlight working, so you could just see the general route. I do have some, as you saw here, I do have some GPS points in here just to get lined up with the runways and stuff. But I think we'll be making, these are all non-towered airports, so we're going to be doing the CTAF calls. But we'll be doing straight-in approaches just to make things a little bit quicker. 205 miles for the whole trip, and pretty much it. All right. And while we're on one of these longer runs, we'll talk a little bit about VR Aviation. I plan on doing a end of month update separately and posting that on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing that at the end of every month, so I'll probably do that. Probably do that Monday. Sunday's going to be a little bit of a busy day, being that it's Easter, but I'll probably do that Monday. All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to fly over your house. Walk up. Okay. Where's your house? Where would your house? Well, you don't have to. You don't have to say that. But in what area? Like, what general area will we be flying over your house? That'd be interesting to know. Let's see. All right, so we're cold and dark in the M9, so I'm gonna it's M9 in the Delaware. Okay, cool. Yeah, my son lives in Delaware. He lives in Newark, Delaware. He went to University of Delaware, and he's settled down there. So he's in the Newark area. Spends a lot of time down in Dewey Beach. We love Delaware. We've vacationed down there quite a bit, actually. Millsboro, in that area, out by the bay and stuff. So nice areas down there. It's a nice state. Very small, but very nice state. Some nice areas. All right, cool. So let's jump in the plane and get this thing started up here. Let me get my chat window in here first. So we're going to go to this button here. Where's it? This button here. And we'll go to desktop window monitor. Monitor 2. Grab that. So put it right about there. Should be good. Back to X-plane. Cool, let's get in the plane. All right. Is it worth buying this plane for FSEconomy? If you have a bunch of other planes and you like to fly, short trips with 3 people, it's a nice plane because you can get up to 170 knots, so you can get there pretty quick. There are better planes in FSEconomy for, to make money with, like the 208 or the PC-12. But if you own this plane already, like if you have a copy of this plane, if you have the actual plane, and I think it's a great plane to fly. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested, it's certainly going to get you quicker there than the Cessna. That's for sure. All right, let's get ourselves set up here. I'm gonna get all these off. Everything's off. Okay, so we're gonna assume that we did an outside check. Let me get my battery on. Okay, and initializing the system. There we go. Everything's coming up. What am I using to place the overlay window? I'm using OBS. Is that what you're asking? What software I'm using for streaming? I'm using OBS. Let me get this guy on there. So now our PFD and NFD are up. Let's get our, we want mixture in full. Prop to about 25%. And I'm going to get rid of the yoke here. Oops, I got to select that window to do that. All right, let's get rid of the yoke. To place the Twitch chat in your... Oh, I'm using... yes, it's built into the Rift. It's Oculus Rift, the Home, Oculus Rift Home. It's Core 2.0, which is a newer version. They call it Dash. And it's got a capability to do that. So yes, that's built into the Rift Home software. For Vive, you can use a thing called OVR Drop. You can get it on Steam. It's like $6. And look on YouTube. There's some videos on OVR Drop, but you can use that for getting Windows into VR. All right, so now that we got the batteries on, let's get this puppy started up here. Clear prop. All right, beautiful. Get that idle back. Get our alternator on. Battery 1 on. And let's see what we got here. Let's get our... we probably put our heat on. We've got CDI set. Let's get our lights on here. We're going to go strobe lights, nav lights, beacon, taxi. Is this a tech stream? I mean, we'll talk about technology. We'll talk about VR and stuff. If you have questions about VR, I can certainly help you with that. All right, cool. Let's see. Let's get a transponder on. Need a transponder on. Need to be squawking altitude. I'm sorry. Yeah, because we are. My nav data is out of date. I have to update that. All right, so this transponder's good to go. We got the autopilot power on. Let me get the flight plan loaded here. So I want to clear this guy out. Menu. Delete flight plan. And I already set up the flight plan as FMS plan, so we're just gonna hit enter and pull that in here. Let's pull that up. Okay, we got the right GPS vector there. Beautiful. So back to that, and we're gonna be heading to the. Looks like we're heading to the. Where the hell are we heading? Do I buy a Cessna 172 or keep renting the 208? You know, I would say, again, a 172 is not a great. It's a good starter plane in FSE, but if you want to make money in FSE, you need a plane that can carry more passengers. So, 208 is like 208 and the PC-12. Pardon me, in my opinion, are the workhorse planes for FSEconomy because you can put, you know, what is it? Is it 13 in the 208 and you could put 10 in the PC-12? So you could do real quick trips, and the PC-12 is actually better because it's much faster. But, you know, the 208 is good too because you can get in and out. It's easy to fly, and you can fly a lot of passengers. So I would say I would keep renting the 208. I bought it. I remember when I first started with FSC, I bought a 172. I was so excited about buying my first plane, and within a week I sold it because it just wasn't. It's not a moneymaker. As the title says, this is a Mooney M20 Bravo in FSE. Okay, but it's actually the M20R Ovation. But in FSE, it's the M20 Bravo. All right, so flight plan is in. We're going to taxi to. Let's see, where the hell are we here? Let's pull up the taxi diagram, and we're going to take off on 27 today. We're heading north, so we'll take off 27 today. All right, I'm going to get FSEconomy loaded up. You guys can't see that happening, but I just did that. Red Harley, how you doing? Thanks for joining, man. Good to hear. Good to see you. Hey, Red Harley, I put that the B1900D back at the LaGuardia. I don't know if you saw that, but I decided to put it back there because I just think it's a little bit better assignments for the B1900D. So I thought you might be interested in that. All right, let me just make sure FSEconomy is. Oh, why didn't that? Hold on here. All right, let me just look at the log here. Okay, cool. All right, so my flight's set up. I've got 3 people in there. Show you what I got here. We're going to 33N to 47, and going to be ferrying someone to 40 as well. We got a VR pilot. We got 2 Foo Fighter fans. So those are the souls that we have on board today. What is that in the top right? That's my logo. Let's see. All right, so we've got FSEconomy loaded. Plane is ready to go. And let's see. Oh, there's a Quest Kodiak for sale. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to buy that for the group, Red Harley, but I think it's just like you and I that fly it. So I don't feel good about spending the group's money on a plane because I asked if people would be interested, and not many people were interested. So I don't feel good about spending money on a plane for the group unless I know there's a good amount of people that are going to fly it. I'd rather get a 208 because everybody's got the 208. So, I mean, that's a good price. I might buy it myself. But thanks for letting me know about that. I appreciate that. Oh, top left is ForeFlight. So you can't see it, but I have I have an iPad. If you look in the lower my camera, see my hands down here? This is an iPad right here, okay? And I've got ForeFlight, which is a flight management application for iPad, and basically flight planning and sectional charts and stuff like that. So you'll be able to see my altitude and where I'm flying, and basically like a moving map. But you can also see, if I pull in here, I could bring up the taxi diagram for an airport, right? Or I can bring up like what I need to do now is do CTAF. So it's 123.075. Setcom 123.075.
Com 1 set to 123.075.
Yeah, they've come down. The Quest has come down a lot because I think it was really expensive there for a while because it just came out and stuff, and they've come down quite a bit. All right, cool. So let me get this bird in the air. We got 61 miles to our waypoint. Everything cross checks. We're good to go. Oh, I know what I want to do. Let me set my autopilot up. So I'm going to turn flight director on. I'm going to turn nav on. And we're going to fly at 2,000. So let me crank that up to 2,000. Let me go altitude. And we go 2,000. Okay. And we're going to go vertical speed, and we'll go up at 500 feet per minute. Nice slow. Kodiak is Thanda. Is it Thanda, I think you pronounce it? You can get it on xplane.org. I've done a couple of flights with it. I love it. Now that it's working with VR, it's much more realistic than the 208. The 208 to me is like flying a boat, like a tub. It's just not. I don't think 208's very realistic at all. The Quest is realistic, much more realistic. And again, that's coming M9. I'm not a real pilot, but from flying different X-Plane 11 planes, Quests just seem. If you flew it, I think you'd like it. And it does have the G1000 in it, and it's very good in VR. It was terrible, but once they switched over to once Laminar switched over to the Rift SDK, it just automatically started working wonderfully. All right, cool. Let's get taxiing. So Delaware traffic, Mooney 328 Tango Delta. What are we? MR. Mike Romeo. Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, taxiing to runway 274, northern departure, Delaware. All right. Now we got to be careful here because M9 was kind enough to do a custom realistic scenery for this airport, and the actual runway is under repair or closed. They created a new runway, and the taxiing configuration is much different. You got to stay off that runway, so I want to make sure I do things properly. Bug Eater, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. Now, I know that Advanced Flight Modeling is working checklists into this plane. I'm not going to run through the checklists today because I got so much to talk about. I know I should, but I'm not going to today. So as versions come out of this plane, you'll see more and more with checklists, which is awesome. Cooper at Advanced Flight Modeling is really trying to do his best to, and all the guys there are trying to do their best to make this as realistic as possible. It's fun to fly. It is. It's a very fun plane to fly. Oops. I'm terrible at taxiing when I'm not in the cockpit. To get better at that.
Approaching runway 27.
Okay. Check and make sure there's no traffic, which there isn't because I'm only the one in the world. Yeah, I think you would probably like it. Like I said, I love it. I would prefer flying that to the 208 for sure. Mainly because it works in VR, so everything, including the I think they updated it so now the autopilot you can access in VR too. So everything is accessible in VR, which makes it, to me, hands down better than the 208. All right. Delaware traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, departing runway 27. We'll be departing the pattern to the north today, Delaware Park. All right, let me get my flaps to the first notch here.
Approaching runway 27.
Thank you. Now that's
Entered runway 27. 4,100 feet remaining.
Now that whoever was asking about ForeFlight before, that's ForeFlight giving me that information, which is nice. All right, if we're all set to go, let's see. Just final check. Seatbelts fastened, doors are closed. Everything's set to go. We've got mixture in, prop in, and our coordinates are in GPS, and we're ready to go. Fire up. Sorry, guys. I have to remember that what I see is what you're seeing, so I have to kind of stay away from sudden movements of the headset. Let's get that gear up. Get those flaps up. And we're climbing nicely here. Take our turn. You have to update each release. They send out a release, I believe. I mean, that's how I've been doing it. I've been getting some of like more of the beta stuff from them, so everything is manual. I don't believe they have an automated process. All right, so we're heading north here. Delaware Park, Mooney 328 Tango Delta, departing the pattern to the north. Delaware. I said Tango Delta. It's Mike Romeo. I have a hard time getting Tango Delta out of my mind because that's the planes I usually use in Pilot Edge. All right, we just turned on the air autopilot, so we're going to climb to 2,000 at 500 feet per minute, and we'll get on our track here. And we've got about 50 miles or 20 minutes. See, can't believe I didn't notice my favorite forearm streamer. How you doing? Forearm streamer. Oh, what a great game. Oh, the Yankee game was awesome. Yes, I'm very happy baseball's back. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I love a lot of sport. I love sports, but baseball is the sport. Baseball and golf. I love golf too. I love watching golf. Love playing golf, although I haven't played in a while because of an injury, but I do love playing golf. But yeah, so the Yankees looked awesome yesterday. Holy crap. I'm going to wait for Boeing engineer to get here because I know he's a Yankee fan. And also Bad Turbulence. He's another Yankee fan, I'm pretty sure. In any event, all right, so lots of stuff to talk about today while we're flying in this beautiful... You can see that. Now, some people... I know M9 doesn't like the tail. I love the tail. I think the tail looks awesome. Get my taxi lights off here. I don't need those on. Yes, B2. I'm very happy about baseball. All right, so a couple things to talk about. I was flying yesterday around a little bit, and I found a... Well, first, let me get my... You know what? Before I do that, let me get myself straight for 122.8. Setcom 1, 122.8.
Com 1 set to 122.8.
I want to make sure I got my... Where we're going to be landing. We're going to be landing on 08 in Pottstown. Okay. All right, so I was flying around yesterday, and I forget what I was doing, but I stumbled upon this airport in Maryland, Eastern Maryland, KRJD, and it hadn't been built on. It was a single lotter, nice little airport, small runway. You know, it's definitely a GA kind of airport. But I said, you know what? I'm going to build on it. So for like 40K or whatever it costs, we had some of the building materials already. I built on it, and now we have a new FBO. So KRJD, which is going to be connected to 33N. You'll start to see some jobs show up there. Nice little airport. It's about 30 or 40 miles from Delaware Air Park. So that's a cool thing to do. So a cool little area that I thought it'd be fun to have an FBO. And it wasn't that expensive, so always nice to find those. And I generally like to do 2 lotters because you get more assignments. But if I have a if I stumble upon something like that that's in a nice little area, I think it's a good idea to pick those up. So anyway, so add that to the list. What we also have done is we've broken our FBOs into different regions just to make them a little bit easier to manage. And let me show you what I mean by that. So if we go to, let me open up another FSEconomy, and I go to FB, you can see now I've got VRA Aviation, VRA Europe, VRA US East, and VRA US West. So if I go to management in Europe, now we've got all the European FBOs in one group. We call them subgroups, really. And if we go to the East, we see all the Eastern in the subgroup there. And likewise, if we go to the West, you'll see that. Now, this doesn't affect you got the pilots at all. It's really just for managing, because we've got 3 of us, and each one of us is managing a region. Okay, Sapper's managing France, Boeing engineer or Mike N1316MC is managing the West, and I'm managing the Eastern. But now, if you look at the RFBOs, you'll see it's VRA instead of VRA Aviation. Okay, and whatever it is, US West or whatever. The carrier is always going to be VRA Aviation, but just so I just wanted to tell you this in case you saw the change here, because this used to be, would say VRA Aviation, now it's VRA whatever the region is. It just makes it easier to manage things. So it doesn't affect you guys. You still fly for VRA Aviation. No one can join these groups. They're just subgroups that we use to keep things manageable, right? The Devils lost against the Penguins. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, that's right. I forgot you were a Devils fan. Yeah, the Devils, didn't they just... I stopped following it. I heard yesterday, didn't they just, like... Did they make the playoffs by the skin of their teeth, or... Are the end? I can't. I haven't been following it. I've been more focused on spring training and baseball. You like the tail? It's just on back. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool though. It's like a novel tale, you know. It's different than everything. I like different stuff. So anyway, that's the new FBO regions, and actually to talk about that, the Mooney that I'm flying today, the M20R that I'm flying today, was kindly donated by Sapper. So very nice of him to do that. He basically gave the group the plane. So now we have this M20R that's going to be, or actually it's an M20 Bravo in FSE. Okay, that's going to be located at 33N, which I'm flying right now. And again, thanks to Sapper for doing that. And it's great to add another plane to the livery. We also have a Piper Arrow. Let me just go to aircraft here, go to VR Aviation. And if we go down to the bottom here, this Piper Arrow was donated by Megaphone. It's at here. It's at Corican. I guess that's how you pronounce it, in California. So we're gonna have to ask for a volunteer, get someone to fly this up to KBTM, so we can get this plane up. Now I do have an Arrow, so I might do that. It's a long flight. But I have a Aerosphere simulation Arrow that I can use to fly that plane up. So, nice addition to the group. He leased that to us, which was very nice of him. And so, any of you guys interested in Arrows, again, I'm going to bring that up. We'll bring that up to the west so we can fly that one around. So, if you look at our airplanes, we're really starting to build up our hangar here. We got 2 Bravos. Well, actually, one we own, one is leased from Coop. We've got 2 Barons. Probably going to get a Baron in France. That seems to be the plan. Folks were talking about putting a Baron in France at FDA, which is the hub in France. And also, we're working on getting more planes to the areas in France. Right now, we have the Skyhawk, and we've got. I brought a 208 there. I think I brought a Baron there, but it's not one that we own. So there's some planes there at FDA that, if you take a look at FDA, which is our hub, okay, we've got 2 planes there. We're going to get some more planes, like probably a 208. I'll see if we can rent a Quest in the area, one that's rentable, and we might buy a Baron that we own and start to build our hangar in the Europe. See here it says VRA Europe. But anyway, so those are some cool updates, and thanks to those guys for donating those planes. And pretty cool. We're growing and growing. Some updates to the website. If you guys haven't seen the website, you can it's vraviation.wixsite. I'll put I think usually it'll come up in the chat here, but here it is. This is the website. For those of you that people that might be interested, just send them this link. They can check out everything they want to see. We go into why you want to join. Talks about our FBOs, aircrafts, and flying for fun. Some pictures of some of our liveries in our network, and then about us. Talks about why you should join and how to join. But the update to this, a couple updates since I last streamed. First, there's now download links to all the liveries. So all you do is go to this liveries page and click on the picture, and it'll take you right to the download, right, for all of our liveries, which I thought was pretty cool. And you can see we've got a 208, we got a PC-12, we've got a 172, which was the winner of the 172 contest. We've got the Ovation that I'm flying now, which is the M20 Bravo in FSE world. We got the 1900D, which SimPilot put together. We got the Baron, which Sapper put together. We got a 407 that Sapper did, and a DC-3 that Sapper did. Let's see, I did this one. SimPilot did this one. Cooper did this one, and SimPilot did that one. In any event, oh, did I miss one? Boom, PC-12. Yeah, those are the ones we got. So, in any event, easy to get to the liveries. The other thing, I'm not sure if we saw this, but Mike created a really nice report. Hit that report button. And we now have a very sophisticated report for all the flights. You can see flights, income, fees, and your margin, which is nice. And then a total day-by-day graph down here. You can just click on that, hover that, and you can see what we did on March 29th, which is kind of cool. So this updates every 6 hours, and I know Mike is working on doing a previous and current month version, so you can be able to see all the, go back in previous months and stuff. So anyway, so that's the reporting, and then finally, if you go to the FBO page here, I've added links to every one of our FBOs. So if you click on this right now, it'll open up a page. As long as you're logged into FSEconomy, it'll take you right to that FBO. And now we've got all the spoke FBOs. So if I wanted to go look at 9U0, I click on that, and boom, it takes me right to 9U0. Okay, so we've added that to give you, especially new folks, but even everybody who's in the group, it just makes it easier to get to where you want to go, or have an idea of, get to the FBOs you want to go. For example, I think, actually, we need someone to run some supplies here at BTM. We've got supplies going to 1MT0, which is 9-quarter ranch. Okay, we need some supplies that go there. We got 14 days before that expires. And in ID 36, which is in Idaho, we've got some supplies that need to go out there. It's kind of a longer trip, but we've got some supplies that need to go out. This can handle with a 208 probably. If someone's got some time on their hands, maybe they can do that. In any event, the point of this is you can now access any one of our hubs just by going to the web page and clicking, and boom, brings you right to the page. All right, so I thought that might be a cool thing to see. As far as the finances go, let's go to that. Again, I'm going to do an end of month update separate from this, but just to give you an idea of where we are. You see now you're going to see all of the subgroups now. But VR Aviation, we've got just about $1 million, a little over $1 million in cash. So we're doing quite well. Look at the monthly statement. 4.2 million in assignment income, 1.4 in net assignment income, so after all the fees. Aircraft operations about 187K in the black there, which is nice. FBO 137K, so our FBOs are profitable. You're selling gas, eating ground crew fees, doing some income and repair work and stuff, so that's all good. So we're having a good month. Last month we did like about 5 million, I think 5.3, so we're a little behind last month. It's been a little bit less active, but still think we're having a pretty damn good month. And yeah, so again, remember we've got the contest going on. So if we take a look at VR Aviation, go to the reports. So right now in the lead for the contest is MK84. Okay, with 448K. Brian Holm, which is Sim Pilot, is in second, 281, and Flyboy's in third. Sapper, myself, and Erasmus aren't part of it. We've opted out. So the top 3 pilots will get percentage of the net income, so after expenses. So it's 10%, 6%, and 4% respectively. So a nice bonus chunk for the top 3 pilots and some incentive to do some flights. So in any event, that should be a nice take for those guys. So that's where we are as far as the finances go. Showed you the aircraft, and I think that's pretty much it. Again, let's see, how many flights did we have? Oh, we're going to have to look at this differently now. So we have to go to banking, and we'll have to look at these separate so we can see. We've had 188 flights in France this month. We've had, we have 188, that's odd, in Eastern, and 306 in the West. A lot in the West. Now, you're not going to see these this month because we just made the switch over, but next month, all of the aircraft operations and FBOs and stuff will be tracked by the region, which is also make it easier for us to narrow down the profitability and stuff like that. So all that fun stuff. So in any event, that's where we are financially. And again, I'll do a we're going to do an end of month snapshot or update to give everybody a perspective of how we did there. So anyway, let me just check one thing, guys. All right. 1MT0. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's in pilot to ATC. I don't use that. So does it have any other call codes? I don't know. Probably search it up on SkyVector. I think it's in SkyVector. My overspeed. Oh, let me get in the plane here. Oh yeah. Oof. Ooh, that's not good. See, I'm talking away. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's not good. Talking away here. Yeah, I forgot to. You know what? The bad piloting on my part there. I forgot to lean her out. Get things back in. Thank you for the alert, dude. Appreciate that. Wow. That's weird. It was really cranking there. I didn't expect that to... I didn't expect that. All right, let me get things under control here. We're coming back down to 2,000. We're bringing everything down. All right, we're going to be making our... let me get my call here. So we are about 10 miles west. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 10 miles west of the airport. We'll be landing runway 08. Straight in approach, full stop landing, Pottstown. All right, got things under control now. Thank you. Peterson, I appreciate that. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's get this plane on the ground. I'm gonna bring my altitude down here. So where's my hit altitude? And we're gonna go down to 1300. Go vertical speed down. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 4 miles west of the airport. Straight in approach, runway 08, full stop landing, Pottstown. Okay, let's get on the ground at Pottstown. Let me see if I can... There's my runway. Oh, I gotta get way down here. Gotta get way down. Let me get that Autopilot off. See that I was jabbering away, and that's what happens, you know. Fly the plane first, as they say, right? All right, we're at 140 knots. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo on short final runway 208, full stop landing, Pottstown. Okay, 120 knots. We'll put the first notch of flaps in. $700 feet. Let's get that gear down.
500.
Mixture in, prop in, gear is down. Gas is good. Seatbelts are fastened. Gumps is complete. I did it in kind of a weird order, but second notch of flaps. Not sure if I need that or not, but all right, we're about 80 knots over the fence and coming into the threshold here. Get that trim up, nose up, start the throttle down, flare it, let her come down. Okay, beautiful. Let's clean up the plane. All right, let's clear the active. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, clear the active. Pottstown. All right. Exactly. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Set parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
Oh, you know what? I use flat runways. I don't use contours, M9. That's why. I don't use contours. I'll explain why in a sec. Let me just go to FSEconomy. So I'm going to finish that flight. And my flight. All right, we're good there. So we got 3 people we're going to be bringing on the plane now. We got 51 gallons. That's plenty. So let's do start flight. And we've got 3 people now going to, and we're going to 40. We're going to one of my favorite places, Sky Harbor, which has a wonderful, wonderful, great restaurant. All right, let me just check one thing. All right, cool. Let's get this bird in the air now. Let's see. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, taxiing to runway 08 for Eastern departure. Pottstown. We'll be back in Pottstown. Gonna take a quick jaunt over to Sky Harbor, and then we'll come back here, and then we'll head back to 33. So what's nice about this network, you know, you get some nice small mountainous, you know, small hills and stuff to see, and you know, it's certainly not as mountainous as our Western hub, our Western network. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, departing runway 08 to the east. Pottstown. Everybody's clear here. Let's get ourselves set.
Approaching runway 08.
Got our GPS in. Let's get flaps.
Entered runway 08. 2,700 feet remaining.
Flap set to 1. Let's just take a look at the plane. Low to the ground, that Mooney, isn't it? Isn't it? That's such an eastern, northeastern, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? All right, let's get in that plane. Full power. Make sure my elevators are set properly. Looking for 65. And rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. Gotta get over that hill. I could see what you mean by it being hilly. Yeah, I have runway contours turned off, and the reason why is because one of the airports that I fly into, Morgantown, I fly there a lot with the B1900D. The taxiway, if you have runway contours on, it's like you have to taxi the plane through it. It basically, and the plane ends up taxiing into a ditch. So it's like impossible. All right, we're going to go flight director. We're going to go nav, and we're going to go altitude. Actually, let me do this. Let me go autopilot. All right, so we're getting our GPS, and I'm going to go altitude. Let's crank her up to 1400. Actually, we'll go to 1500. Actually, we'll go to 1600. This time we're going to watch our speed, Casey Jones. Let's get that mixture leaned out. Oh, it's got a really nice, it's got an engine panel. Very nice engine panel on this plane. So we're going to watch our EGT there and get this plane leaned out. Pull back on the as we climb to 14. Because we want to watch our fuel flow, which is at 12 gallons per hour, which is great. Here we go. Also has range and stuff. It'll show you our range if we do yeah, range is that 887 miles, something like that. This plane has like a 1,200 mile range, I believe. Full tank, no people. Which is pretty impressive. All right. Now that we're aviating properly and we're not going to overspeed, we've got 26 miles to our turn into Sky. What the hell's the name of it? I always forget. Sky Manor. Thank you. Let's see what this. Let's set our 122.975. Com 1 122.975.
Spoilers armed.
No. Setcom 1 122.975.
Com 1 set to 122.975.
Keep trying to follow the runway contours until I break something and take off, and then I rejoin the flat worlds. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd love to have contours, but it's not consistent because, like I said, there's that one airport where I taxi with the 1900D, and I can't taxi because there's like a rut, like a 8-10 foot dip in the taxiway that, you know, I can't get past. So I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go flat runways. Not realistic, but what can you say? Anyway, that's something they've got to fix. M9, it's turned off an XP. It's turned off an X-plane. All right. Only time flat runways really bother me is when it makes those funky cliffs. Yeah, you know where that happens is at Telluride. Telluride, it's much better if you have contours, because especially if you're using the Telluride custom scenery, because it looks like a weird cliff, like the roads go off it. It's weird. But what can you say? You know, it's not consistent enough to use it. That's the way I look at it. Alrighty, everything's looking good. 18 miles. All right, so has anybody tried the Vive Pro yet? I've been been looking at some posts here and there about it. Some people have said, "Oh, there's not much difference in the visual quality." Some people say, "Oh, it's an amazing difference between the visual quality." I've yet to see anyone that has tried it with X-Plane. It is kind of an expensive upgrade. I mean, it's $800 for the headset. And then if you don't have the radios or the cameras and the lighthouse towers, whatever there are, and controllers, I think it's another $400. So what I read, it was like $1,200 from zero to using a Vive Pro if you don't have anything. I know the ones that are out now are just probably evaluation units, so only a few people are getting them. But I was hoping that someone with one would try X-Plane. I'd love to see if there's a real major difference. I'm not saying I'm going to fork out $1,200 for that. I don't think I'm going to do that. I would rather live with the visuals of Rift and upgrade my computer to a higher CPU and do that, and wait for see what Oculus does. Yeah, it's $800. Yeah, right. Give me a break. $800, $1,000 for a so. Isn't that ridiculous? It's come to the point where, listen, I know it's a mini computer. Okay, I'm not, you know, I'm in the IT world. I know what an iPhone is, and I know the technology that we have inside there. But $1,000 for the Apple 10 or X or whatever you want to call it? No way. I still have my iPhone 6. Works just fine. Sapper, how you doing? We're flying the Mooney that you donated to the group, and we thanked you for it before you got here. Sapper was the guy that donated this Mooney M20 Bravo to the FSE group. The actual plane that I'm flying was given to me as an evaluation from Advanced Flight Modeling, but the plane, the virtual plane in FSEconomy Sapper gave to the group. So thanks to him for that. And actually, I flew it up yesterday from Georgia. Made a stop in, I forget where. Oh, one of our southernmost hub, KAKQ. Picked up a couple people and brought them to 33N. So anyway, nice plane, lots of fun. We're just doing a little bit of a East Coast route work here, flying over the some of the areas in the our eastern network. Now this is the most current release of the plane. I think it's 2.1 beta, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that they have a thread on X-Plane.org. If not, Advanced Flight Modeling has a mailing list you can join, and you'll get notifications when updates come up. Yeah, you know what? That FBO in Maryland, I happened to have my Challenger in the area, so I just did it in 3 quick trips and just brought everything there and built it. Took me I don't know, an hour and a half or something. I was going to do it on stream, and I said, let me just get this done quick. I flew low altitude, got the stuff there, built the buildings. Gas will be there soon. It's a full working FBO. It's got gates. It's got repairs. It's going to have gas. So it's KRJD, I believe it is. So make sure you check that addition to our eastern. All right, let me get my. I need this. Look at this. Sky Manor traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 9 miles west of the airport at 1,600 feet. And I don't know what friggin' runway I'm landing on. 07. Sky Manor traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. Will be straight in approach to runway 07, full stop landing. Sky Manor. Quest Kodiak at BTM has gone tech. Let's set the altitude to set altitude 1,200.
Altitude 1,200 feet.
All right, let's go vertical speed down. Oh, I always forget. Altitude 1,200, vertical speed down. You have to work within the bounds of the G1000. All right, let's prepare for landing. We're going to go mixture in, prop in. We'll start to pull back on the throttle because we're starting to get a little quick there. Oh, it's broken. Yeah. I saw that. Whoever owns it's got to fix it. They probably never will, so that's going to suck. Maybe I'll just buy one and put it there. Sky Manor traffic, Mooney 328 Tango Delta. We are 4 miles west of the airport. Straight in approach, runway 07, full stop landing, Sky Manor. Get my runway. Oh, it's over there, so we're going to have to do this. Autopilot is off. Let's get that power down. All right, let's get the gear down. 1 notch of flaps. Trim that up. Yeah, if you ever M9, you may have flown here. I know you fly in the area here. Have you ever flown to Sky Manor and had a burger here? Apparently, well, I've had a burger there. I've never flown there. I've driven there, and the burger's awesome. All right, 90 knots. Nice landing. One thing I think AFM needs to build in some wheel screeching. All right. Sky Manor traffic. Mooney 328 Tango Delta is clearly active. Sky Manor. All right, we're gonna have to taxi, take off 07 again. Check parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
All right. We'll go over all these jobs once I finish the flight here. Okay, we got one person we're bringing on board now. We got 47 gallons, plenty of gas. We're only going 37 miles back to Pottstown. So let's bring this person back to Pottstown. Yeah, they should pay for it, not you. Sky Manor traffic, Mooney 328 Tango Delta taxiing to runway 08 for west eastern departure.
Approaching
Sky
runway
Manor.
25. Entered runway 25, 2,800 feet remaining.
Yeah, the weak points are the sounds, I think you're right. Again, you got to remember it's early access, so maybe shoot. I'm not sure if Cooper usually joins the stream when I'm flying this plane. We should just he's in our Discord, so just wonder if they're going to be doing screeching sounds on the tires. That'd be kind of cool for landing. I'm sure I know he's got a big list of things to do. All right, so we're going to take off. We're going to take off east, but we're going to depart west. This interesting little thing here. Sky Manor traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo will be departing runway 08 to the east, but departing the pattern to the west. Sky Manor. All right, so we'll make a right crosswind.
Approaching runway 0, entered runway 07, 2,300 feet remaining.
Not a good time to do that, but let me just see what the pattern is. Actually, I know the pattern here is left, so we're going to make a left crosswind turn, and then we'll be on our way. Here we go. Sky Manor traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo is on the go, runway 08, Sky Manor. There's 65 and rotate. Flaps up, gear up. Should be the other order, I know that. Skymanner traffic, Mooney 328 Tango Delta, turning left, crosswind, runway 08, Skymanner. Skymanner traffic, Mooney 328 Tango Delta, turning left, downwind, runway 08, Skymanner. All right, let's get our nav. Actually, not yet. We're going to go flight director, nav, and we're going to go altitude, Skymanner traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, departing the pattern to the west, last call, Skymanner. Let's get autopilot on. Yeah, this plane wants to go. Holy crap. This plane really wants to go. You've actually transferred cash to owners to do repairs when they're broke. That's pretty funny. Bessie wanted to refuel and the guy not having enough money. Yeah, right. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things about FSE. Your first biggest gripe is the damn search planes feature. Click rentable and I keep getting presented plane. Yeah, I agree with that too. That are out of debt. They should fix that. They shouldn't put them in there. I agree with you. I mean, it's not rentable. But you got to remember it's free. And the reason why it's free is so they don't have to put up with gripes. Like, we all have gripes. You know, one of my gripes is, why isn't the Cirrus jet in FSC? And I know the reason. Why isn't the Diamond DA 62 in FSC? I've, talked to a lot of people, heard a lot of people that said they're not going to buy that plane until it's in FSC. Popular planes should be in it, I think. All right, quick trip back to Pottsville. Careful not to overspeed. Yeah, there's a lot of gripes, but again, it's free, and when someone's charging you for it, then you can complain all you want, and they need to listen to you, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Cool. So we're holding 1773. That's the Delaware River right there. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Why buy a plane unless, if you're really into FSEconomy, like pretty much everybody in this stream chat is, why would you buy a plane unless you can fly it in FSEconomy, right? Like the TBM 900, it looks like it's going to be very cool. It's going to be available this summer, I guess, sometime. If it's not part of FSC, some people there's some people that just fly it You could fly it on Pilot Edge. That's fine. But if you're into FSE, you want planes that are, you know, FSE compatible. I'm hoping that someone does a Piper Saratoga 6. Is it the Saratoga 6? The 6-seater would be great. It would be a great plane for FSE, and I think there's already one in there. But you can't find a nice Saratoga 6 to fly. At least I haven't been able to find one. But that would be a nice plane. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I do believe that Laminar has done a better job with the G1000's granularity when you're using the dials and stuff. I don't want to demonstrate it now because, well, I guess I could. I can go to flight plan. Go to flight plan, I could scroll through. It just seems to be much better than it was, which is clear. That's clear. And also, they changed it from green to blue, and the text is bigger. So I think they made some nice changes to the interface on the G1000. All right, we got 16 miles. Let me just I gotta change my. Oh, you guys can't see what the hell's going on here. I got. SETCOM 1 122.8.
Com 1 set to 122.8.
All right, so we're gonna be landing runway 26 this time, straight into 26. Let's see. What? Well, okay. The other thing is I don't like it, but one thing that they need to do with this G1000 is give you total distance. Right now, they only get distance to the current and next waypoint. You don't get total distance. But I know we're about 20 miles. Skymanner traffic. Oh, sorry.
Altimeter already 299er2.
I hit the wrong button. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 20 miles east of the airport. We'll be landing runway 26, straight in approach, Pottstown. The G1000, yeah, it's still a little too small. I agree, but they did make it a little bit bigger, which is good. You know, unfortunately, magenta isn't a great color, text color to read in VR because it kind of blends together. I find that on the Challenger, like the magenta color is not good. It would be much better if everything was like white's the easiest to read. Green is okay, but that magenta GPS color isn't great. Need a 40-inch screen, I guess. No, well, maybe you, not me. I got my screen on my head. I don't use any monitors, man. Just kind of going like this, and I could see it much clearer. Or you could hit the zoom button. That's another way you could do it. Like that. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 14 miles east of the airport at 1,700 feet. Strain and approach, runway 26, full stop landing, Pottstown. Well, I appreciate you guys checking the stream out today for some Friday. Well, I guess we're getting into the afternoon. What time the Yankees play today? I have to check that out. Two more legs here. We get back to Pottstown and then head back to Delaware Airpark for our Eastern FBO network jaunt, if you will. All right, let's get our altitude down to 1200 here. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 10 miles east of the airport at 1,600. We'll be straight in approach, runway 26, full stop landing, Pottstown. Looks like some snow hasn't melted yet. I know it's clouds, but it looks like snow. Actually, at nighttime, or if you fly in dusk, in X-plane, it really looks like snow, which is kind of cool. All right, slowing the plane down. Coming down to 1,200 feet. We'll be making our turn here, and then we'll be about, I believe, about 6 miles. Yeah, cotton fields, right? Cotton candy fields. And Willy Wonka. There's Pottstown. All right, let's get our get it ready for landing here. So we're gonna go mixture in, prop in. Gear is still up. We're gonna leave that up. Gas is good. Here's our turn. You like to pretend it's snow? Yeah, yeah. Except when you're in Hawaii, then it's not. Then it's not appropriately snow. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 5 miles east of the airport, straight in approach, runway 26, full stop landing. Pottstown. All right, I see my Pottstown. Unless you're flying on the... Oh, yeah, I guess they do have snow way up there, don't they? Do they? I'm not sure they have snow in the way up in the elevations. All right, we're going to have to make a... get to the north here a little bit. All right, plane's autopilot is off now. We're slowing her down. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 2.5 miles east of the airport on final runway 26, full stop, Pottstown. All right, flaps to first notch.
500.
Gears down. Gas is good, undercarriage is good, mixture is good, prop and power are good, and seatbelts are fastened. Yeah, I forgot there's snow on the Big Island. You're right about that. Is the snow in ortho as well? On the Big Island? All right, 90 knots. Let's get that elevator trim up a little bit. We're gonna get to about 80 over the gate. I got the X-plane 2D window open instead of minimized. That's why we're getting a little bit of stuttering. 80 knots, bringing it down. Nice flare. Nice easy landing. Clean up the flaps.
Flight 209er, clear for vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, roger. What's our vector, Victor?
What's our vector, Victor? Well, thanks for the follow. I can't see who that was yet, but I'll get you in a second here. Potsdam traffic, moving 328 Mike Romeo. We are clear of the active runway 26, yeah. Potsdam. We're taking off 08, right? Set parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
All right, let me get my... All right, just to let that passenger off. We got 2 passengers left, 43 gallons to go, 63 miles, plenty. VR Aviation. Uh-oh, did I fly for VR Aviation the last one? I better have. Yeah, so far good. All right, my flight. Start flight. Get this to close that. We're going to be taking off 08 for our long trip back to our home base. All right, we got them loaded. Got them loaded. Ortho in Hawaii and haven't flown there yet. Okay. You haven't checked yet? Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's probably at least clouds, but it'd be cool to see the snow up there, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of cool. All right. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, taxiing to runway 08 for southern departure, or departure to the south, Pottstown. You know, it's funny. I go to airports and I turn on the scanner and listen to people do CTAF calls in real life, and it's amazing how they botch them. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, departing runway 08 to the south, Pottstown. All right, 1 notch of flaps. Get ourselves lined up. I mean,
approaching runway 0, entered runway 08, 2,700 feet remaining.
I mean, I was listening to this one guy, and he was doing pattern work, and he wasn't even like calling his base turns or anything, which is kind of odd. All right, let's set up our autopilot. Let's get the flight director on, and we're gonna go nav, and we're gonna go altitude 2,000, and we're going to go vertical speed up 500 feet per minute, and let's get in the air here. Crank her up, let her go. And we've got looking for 65 and rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. Back in the seat. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, turning right, crosswind, runway 08, Pottstown. Pottstown traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, departing the pattern to the south. Last call, Pottstown. All right, let's get that autopilot going. So far, this plane has been handling flawlessly. Fly a little bit higher on the way home. Sure that CSC cash balance just jumped 50K. Well, good for you, dude. I mean, your FSE. Maybe someone gave you a blind donation. All right, let's see if we can lean this back a little. Yeah, you probably forgot. You probably said it to. I do that all the time. Like, I think I keep it at 50K and then I reset it or whatever. So has anybody flown the Diamond DA62 and BR? I'm interested to hear. The new DA62. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on it. It looks pretty cool. All right, let's get our throttle back here. I don't want to overspeed. Keep it about 160, 170. Alrighty, on our course back, we've got about 18 minutes to get there. Set our CTAF. Setcom 1123.075.
Com 1 set to 123.075.
That's Delaware Airpark. How about an outside view? Looking nice. I don't know, guys. I think that livery, I think he did a really nice job on that livery. Check out the underneath. You got the VRA logo underneath there. The black bottom of the fuselage, and if you go up top here, see you got the VRAs and the little sprites on the wings there. Nicely done, man. You can get this on their website. They have extra liveries. You can download this. Just go to our website, click on this picture in the livery page, and you'll get right to it. But yeah, it's really nice, man. Accidentally typed in XP something instead of chat. It shut off the entire plane. So you hit Control E to restart all engines in the running, and FSC took a fuel. Oh, took it as a cheat. Oh, that's too bad, man. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. Especially if you did a long flight. It sucks. Sorry to hear that, B2. Yeah, B2, I noticed you've been doing a few flights for VR Aviation there. I know you straddle between Snack Air and VR Aviation, but appreciate your activity. It's kind of nice. Nice to have you a fellow sim aviator around. Someone's interested in FSE. Good to have you around. You don't know what you typed. That's not good. That's not good. You've been snacking hard this week for the contest. Okay. Earning snacks, but yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about putting some sort of currency in on my streams for giveaways and stuff like that. I've got to think it through. Come up with an innovative way to use that, because I think, you know, it's kind of cool to do. And you guys don't know it, but if you type in exclamation points, you've been getting points for all the time that you've been in chat. So if you might want to just try it and see how many points you have. So at some point I'm going to have some sort of point system. Honestly, I just haven't had a chance to you know, suss it all out, but I will at one point. Yeah, see, Sapper, you have 388 points. I was thinking about using them for, like, I don't know, sports betting. Some sort of gambling. I like gambling. You know, like you could put up, I don't know. I have to figure something out. I was going to do something in the Super Bowl pool, like a Super Bowl pool, but then I just got distracted and wasn't able to put it together. But yeah, if you, maybe a Vive Pro giveaway. Hello. I don't think HTC is going to be sponsoring little old me. I don't think 10,000 subscribers on YouTube is enough to get their attention. But we'll be giving a few planes away, that's for sure. Got some things in the works. Got some things in the works. All right, what do we got? 39 miles. 13 minutes. We're getting some scenery change here. That's what that stuttering usually is. Yeah, I guess no one's tried the DA62 in VR. Apparently, it's quote-unquote VR capable. I'm not sure what that means, but apparently it's got some regions that are VR clickable. I'm not sure about the autopilot. And that's really, to me, that's one of the most important things, is having autopilot capability. I'm really glad that the AFM put the autopilot controls on the G1000. That's one thing I don't like about the Quest Kodiak. It's got a G1000 in it, but it doesn't use the G1000 autopilot controls. It's got its own, it's got the, I forget which Bendix or whatever it is, autopilot. It would be cool if they switched it over and just had it on the G1000. Yeah, there is no D62 and in FSE, and the thread where people were asking for, one of the board directors basically said that everyone asking for it does not speed the process up, which is kind of against the way things go in the world of marketing and the world of free markets. But usually supply and demand, right? But the board members of FSE, they don't go by supply and demand. They have different rules, and that's fine. They're allowed to have their own rules. They run the show. It's their environment. So, but I think that you would see a lot more people buy that plane if it was part of FSE. It's like the Cirrus Jet. If the Cirrus Jet was part of FSC, I think I'd be flying that thing a lot. I think it's 5 passengers. And if you bought one, it's probably expensive to buy one. Probably $1 million. So I'd probably rather have a Challenger. Although it's probably cheaper to operate than the Challenger, I would guess. I mean, I have a Challenger already. So, but I would bet that Cirrus Jet would be cheaper to operate. Despite what people think, you could, when the Challenger is great for cargo, bulk cargo, like 4,000 kilograms to 5,000 kilograms, and you can do runs of like $17,000 to $24,000. Make really nice money if you own a Challenger, and also it only seats 8 people. But if you own it, you're not paying rent on it, and if you do 8 people, where you've got less than 5 or less assignments, you don't pay booking fees, you could do pretty well with that plane, because you can get in and out real quick. And like a Challenger LaGuardia, which is where I have got mine at well, I keep it at 33N, but just running a few things at LaGuardia with like some consolidated assignments, as long as you're keeping it 5 assignments or below, you could make some pretty good money. You can make it quick. Now, the PC-12 is better because it's 10 passengers. You can crank it up to about 225 knots, okay? Which is pretty damn fast for a prop plane. And, you can do like, 200-mile round trips really quick and make a nice buck. I think the PC-12 is one of the best planes for FSEconomy, if you ask me. All right, we are crossing, I believe, the Delaware. Let me just check on my... Yep, that's going to be the Delaware River. "29 miles from our destination, from our next... from our turn, 27 miles from our turn. CL30. M9, thank you for the subscription, the Twitch Prime subscription. Appreciate that, dude. And even more, I know, because it's something that you have to do manually, and that's 3 months in a row. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. The Challenger 300 and the PC-12 are both definitely not the best money makers and can be big money losers if not careful, but if you enjoy them in flight... I disagree on the PC-12. I disagree on the PC-12. Make a lot of money. I make a lot of money with that PC-12. In an area, depends on the airport, and you got to have assignments of 5 or below so you don't pay booking fees. But you fill that plane up with 10 people with 5 assignments or 4 assignments, you can make good money on short runs for sure. MK84, the leader of the pilot contest right now. Okay, which plane? I'm curious, B2, because I would like to know which plane. Because yeah, the PC-12 is not cheap. It's like 800 grand. But I'm curious which plane. Because you got to remember the speed of it, right? Because you're doing 220 knots. All right, let's start to descend here. I'm going to bring her down to 1500. Watch our speed. Yeah, I'm curious which plane. Because, you know, you need a plane that has 10 passengers, right? Or more, right? I don't know, man. I could tell you that I've had the PC-12 down in Tampa, out of Tampa, and I've cranked through a bunch of assignments, and I made a lot of money, like, in a short period of time. I mean, a 1900D is probably a better money maker because you have more people, but it's also more expensive. You know, 1900D is going to be a little like $1 million. So a couple 100,000 more, you get, you know, 19 seats. I guess a 208 is cheaper than a PC-12. But as I mentioned, I'm not sure you were here, I get kind of tired of flying the 208, because it's like flying a bathtub to me. Agree with you, MK84. It's impossible to fill it out without booking fees, actually. Yeah, but the Kodiak is going to be about the same price as a PC-12, and it's got 9 passengers versus 10. Doesn't go as fast. So I would debate that one. I like them both. I think they're both money makers, but I mean, the Kodiak can carry more cargo, that's for sure. But it's not a big cargo plane. It's like, what, 1,200 kilograms, something like that. It's not huge. All right, let's figure out where we're landing here. We're going to land runway 27. Delaware Park traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We're at 1,500 feet, approximately 20 miles north of the airport. We'll be landing runway 27, straight in approach, Delaware Airpark. Kodiak's 400K? Cheapest one I saw was 470, but okay, yeah, it's less money. I agree. Okay, it's less money. I was actually thinking about buying a Kodiak as my next plane for the Eastern Hub. Yeah, my own plane. I mean, I'll buy it myself. because not many people in the group fly it. I think myself, Red Harley, maybe a couple other ones, but I like the Kodiak. I do. I think it's a great plane. I'd rather fly that than the 208. I think it's cheaper than the 208, isn't it? Isn't it cheaper than the 208? All right, let's get down to 1,200 feet altitude. Kind of slowing it down. I don't know if you saw, but yesterday when I checked, there are 3 Challengers for sale. Now, I know John Fly has that one Challenger up for like 2.8 million or 2.5 million or something like that. And there's one, I think, available for like 1.5, something like that. So the Challengers are starting to come onto the market. Delaware Park traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 10 miles north of the airport. We'll be landing runway 27, full stop, straight in approach, Delaware Park. Yeah, you got me thinking about the Kodiak. I think I might buy one for the East. And again, my own money, not the group's money. I totally agree with you, B2. Fly what you enjoy. Max profit, they're not great. But with any plane, you have to be careful, right? About if you want max profit, right? Yeah, okay, so he might have bought that one up. Maybe he's trying to corner the market on Challengers. Yeah, I prefer the Kodiak over the 208. I just think it's more challenging to fly. As I said before, the 208's like flying a bathtub to me. Delaware traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 8 miles north of the airport. We'll be landing runway 27. Straight in approach. We're at 1,200 feet, Delaware Park. Has 7 Challengers, yeah. I'm not sure. Why would you... So he's basically... I guess he rents them all or whatever? I was thinking about buying a second one, but I don't know. I might start renting the one that I own. I haven't rented it. I keep it as a personal plane. I mean, if more people in the group flew the Kodiak, I would get one for BTM for the Western Hub because it'd be a great plane to have out there. Lease to purchase. Yeah, why would you want to? I guess he's renting them out. I don't know. It's not the most popular plane in FSEconomy, right? All right, we're good on gas. Everything's looking good. I'm going to go mixture in, prop is in. Cruising at about 136 knots. Yeah, I know. He's going through a finance company. I got you. Oh, you mean he's the finance company, or he's doing that? He's leasing to purchase. I just don't believe in doing that. I'd rather just own it. He might be the finance company, which seems odd to me, but Delaware traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo. We are 5 miles east of the airport. We'll be landing runway 27. We're at 1,200 feet. 27, straight in approach, full stop landing, Delaware Park. All right, we're coming into M9's airport. In fact, let me do this. Let me change this to time of day because it looks so cool when you come into this plane at dusk, or this airport at dusk. I've never financed anything in FSE ever. I just did a lot of flying. All right, let me get my landing lights on. Delaware traffic,
500.
Mooney 328 Mike Romeo on short final runway 27, full stop, Delaware. All right, let's get that first notch of flaps. Get the gear down. So gas is good, undercarriage is green, mixture is good, prop is good, seatbelts fashion, power is good. I was told that the P meant prop, but Aviation 101 says power. So I'm confused on that. That's the GUMPS acronym. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop, or power. I thought it was prop. And then S is seatbelt. Isn't it nice with the runway all lit up and the taxiway? And it you know, just looks really cool. It's probably darker to you guys than it is to me, but all right, about 84 over the fence. All right, nice landing. Clean up those flaps. Taxi over to GA. Clear the threshold. Delaware traffic, Mooney 328 Mike Romeo, clear runway 27, taxiing to GA parking, Delaware. Those landing lights off. I love landing at night. A couple of reasons. It just looks really cool. Second is it's really easy to pick out the runway because it's lit up. So in VR, it's really helpful. Go past our hangar there. See the VR Aviation logo up there. Very nice. What do you think of that, B2? Let's check that out. VR Aviation. Our planes in the hangar, courtesy of M9 Aviation. Nice job. And our new FBO. I'm going to have to add a scenery repository to the website. That's on my to-do list, for sure. I'm a little close to that plane here. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Yeah, grass field. Forget that unless it's lit up. All right, let's get this plane. Oh, let me just do before I turn the plane off. All right, we will go over FSEconomy in a second here. Let's do a replay. Hope I didn't crash X-plane. Oh, I might have crashed X-plane. Sometimes replay crashes X-plane. Yep, looks like I crashed X-plane. Oh well, that sucks. Get the dreaded hourglass. All right, let me get to... No, yes, I ended the flight. Yep, I did. But sometimes when you do, sometimes the replay in VR just hangs up the system. All right, let me get to how we did here. So go to FSE, go take a look at the log for VR Aviation. All right, so we had 4 flights here. We didn't do too bad here. Let's see, we made 800, 1100, about $2,000, $2,400 for the group. All right, not bad. You know, it was a casual flight with a couple of passengers here and there, and you know, just a fun thing to do. But anyway, guys, that's gonna about do it for me. I appreciate you guys checking out the stream. I'll probably be back tomorrow at some point. I do appreciate all the follows and the seatbelt switches. Okay, yeah, but I'm not sure what the P is. I've always known the P to be prop. But in any event, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna hit that stop stream button now. Hit that like button if you like what you saw today, and don't forget to subscribe to Bambino Games on YouTube for more VR flight simulation and X-plane. Did I catch the subscriber? Oh, hold on. Let me look at that. Yes, that was M9. Yes, I did. Thank you. Yeah, M9 subscribed. I appreciate, and I mentioned that. Thank you very much. It's 3rd month. Oh yeah, golf cart me Chinix. Another follower, thanks for the follow. And that'll about do it for me, guys. So listen, have a great Friday, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.